Hey everyone, welcome back to On Purpose, the #1 health podcast in the world. Thanks to each and every single one of you that come back every week to listen, learn, and grow. Now today's guest is someone that I've wanted to sit down with ever since I was a very young boy. And it's extremely special to me to have this opportunity. I grew up in a home where I was surrounded by his books, his cassettes, his CDs. My father would be diving into them, playing them in the car, wherever he possibly could. And I was surrounded by this man's wisdom. And it had an impact on me, both internally, externally, and in so many ways. And today I've had the great fortune of sitting with him for this podcast and this interview. I'm speaking about a man who needs no introduction, that is recently the #1 New York Times bestselling author of this book, Life Force, the one and only Tony Robbins. Tony, I am so honored, humbled, and grateful to be in your presence.
Thank you, brothers. Thanks for coming to visit.
To be in your home. You've opened up your home today. This is the first time we brought On Purpose out into the wild.
I'm honored.
For a guest to be with you, but we're in your beautiful home that you've graciously, and Sage was just an amazing host and welcomed me so beautifully. And I want everyone to know also that I came here expecting that we were going to do a podcast. Tony, of course, is one of the busiest humans on the planet. We just sat down and we spent nearly an hour together just connecting and talking because of his kindness and generosity. And I want people to know that.
The work you're doing, I wanted to hear more about it. So it's gorgeous what you're doing here. So thanks for having me on.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. So this conversation is a long time coming from the work that you've been doing. The journey of this book doesn't start when you started writing this book. Yeah. The journey of this book for you became something that you got focused on a long, long time ago.
Yeah, true.
And I wanted to focus in on one point to give people this context. You know, you're seen as someone who's superhuman. You're able to do incredible things on stage, off stage. You have a phenomenal physical, mental, psychological presence. You have a beautiful spiritual presence. But at the same time, you talk about in this book being 31 years old and finding out about this brain tumor.
Yes.
I want to hear about what that feels like when you think you're doing everything right for your health.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been a point of concern. And all of a sudden, you get this news. How does that feel?
Well, it was scary, obviously. Actually, it started a little sooner than that. When I was really young, I grew up really rapidly. I've worked 20-hour days, and I was also blessed. And I got to work with some very important people, and I got great results, and they told other people. So by the time I was 19, just almost 20, I had become quite successful in external terms, at least in the world. And some part of me was, you know, the mechanism in the back of our head, that 2 million-year-old brain, right? The fight or flight mechanism. I didn't know how to manage that so well. And part of my brain was like, well, maybe you have all this happening so quick because you're going to die young. And I literally became obsessed with not just getting hit by a truck or something. It was cancer. I was going to wilt away. And I don't know where it came from. And I knew better intellectually, but it was there. And then the first time it entered my life was before 31. It entered my life through someone else, my girlfriend. And she came home crying uncontrollably. And Jay, I mean, she was like, what is it? What is it? My mom. And my mom has cancer. And then even worse, they gave her 9 weeks to live. They just sent her home. And I think if it would have been me, I think my fear would have overcome me. But you know, most people will do more for people they love, whether it be their kids or their family or someone else, than they'll ever do for themselves. And so it's like I kicked into gear. That's what I do. It's like, okay, if there's a problem, there's a solution. I said, look, there's thousands of people that had stage 4 cancer and that are alive today. We're going to find out what they do. We're going to do the same thing. She's not going to die. And then I just read every book